I do know enough to take decent photos of my Mini. That's what I'm going to help you with. And the best part is we're going to do it cheap. Hi, painting pals. Welcome back to Mandy's Minis, where we put big creativity into small scale. And today we are talking photography. It's true, I used to be a professional photographer for many years, and there's a reason. That is history. I'm not good at it. My actual knowledge of the cameras and, using them and keeping up with all the new changes, I'm old now. Tech, I'm not up on. I do know enough to take decent photos of my Mini. That's what I'm going to help you with. And the best part is we're going to do it cheap. Just an Android phone. So this is one of the upgraded Galaxies. I'm not an Apple person, but Apple should have the same features. Any iPhone you have should have the same type of features. You may have to Google where to find them. We're into cheap. If you're into cheap and yet still want good photos of your Minis, here's where we're going to do it. We're starting right here at my desk because this is really where I started. I have a couple of options here. I had gone the route of the Lightbox, very popular. This was Reaper's Lightbox. Sure, it was okay. It worked decent. It was really annoying. I didn't have a good place to keep it set up. And then because we had to keep taking it down and setting it up, it would pop and bubble and wouldn't sit flat. So that didn't work very well for me. I do, however, still have the background from that. There's a white one somewhere, but white always gets damaged and dirty real easy. Lord of change. All I did was keep the box after assembling and painting the figure, so I stick really with the flame area here, so it's nice and vague and can be used for anything. This is just a cool dark with a little smoky. So this is kind of a fun backdrop to use as well. And this is actually the packaging from my humidifier. So you can do all sorts of different things depending on how you take it. If you've seen my live stream, I use construction paper for a background. I'll use cardboard, chipboard. You have everything you need if you just get creative and look outside the box. I've used bed sheets, blankets. I have a whole closet full of fabrics that I'll pull out. T-shirts. Use a t-shirt. Just using it for a backdrop to cover the area. Flip your shirt inside out, a nice black t-shirt, and there you go. Nice black fabric. I actually prefer not to use black. For the most part, I prefer gray. If you're painting a figure that's very dark, it doesn't look good on black. You're not really going to see anything. That's what's nice about the smoke here, because I can pick an area where there's more smoke, so it'll stand out a little bit more. And if you're doing anything light color, it's going to pop off the black background and look really cool. But if you're doing a darker figure, darker color scheme, a lighter background is what you're going to want to use to make it pop. Gray and brown are neutrals, so those work very well for backdrops. But black and white still tends to be the preferred method for some reason. What I do, I'm just going to set up my backdrop. I'm just utilizing extra boxes. Sometimes I use the Iwata box. Sometimes I keep a box of Band-Aids in here. The point is just to get the Mini up a little bit. And I had Ben make me this. I do have a turntable, so this fits on that, and I'll use that one here. Another option would be just to put black down, just to cover that box, so that we make it look nice and pretty. Okay, I'm back with my Mini, and this was a bust from Reaper Miniatures Bones 5 Kickstarter. You cannot get good results on a phone using the automatic setting. They will always blow out your minis. They'll be too bright, too dark. Something's going to be off. We are going to go ahead and change those settings. Here I am, regular photo. Oh, you got me and me. Oh, you poor people. And I'm just going to hit more. I am going to hit Pro. And as you can see, if I hold this up, now we have a much different exposure. It is dark, but that's just because of where the settings are. So we're going to go ahead and adjust those settings. First thing I'm going to talk about is the one labeled ISO. I learned photography back in the good old film day. ISO was the film setting. How that translates to digital, I don't know. I really don't. But I do know from film days, 400 ISO was what you would use if you're going to be outside in a bright, sunny day. And if you got higher ISO, for example, 1000 ISO, that was what you would use in low light situations. So for example, I went and toured a cave. This was one of those obviously really dark area. I was actually able to capture some beautiful photos with that because the ISO was high enough to allow the light in, because you were not allowed to use flash. We're going to set the ISO at 400. But know that you can change it if your lighting is not as bright as mine or does not go as bright as mine. The next thing we're going to look at is the speed. The speed is going to allow you to change the exposure. So when we're looking and this is dark, if I turn this, I can make it lighter till there I am again. That's probably a little overexposed. That's way too low. There we go. That's pretty good. Now, the other thing you might notice is this is my skin tone, and that looks pretty darn red. So the one that labeled WB, that is for white balance, and that allows you to adjust the coloring. I move the slider. You can see I can make it warmer or colder and try and get closer. Now, if you're not sure what settings to use, if you're not sure what white balance looks best or is getting close enough to the actual miniature, you can use, there's this little side section, says manual or automatic. So you can click that. It'll use an automatic setting, which, as you can see, is not too bad. It's still a little bit red, but it's not too bad. And from here, I can just kind of tweak and adjust it a little bit to see what I want. But those are the only settings we use. And beyond that, it is just zoom, snap, and you're done. Go ahead and get this one set up, and I am lowering, changing the speed, and now I'm zooming in on the figure, so I'm nice and close. I like bumping the minis up is because it makes it easier for you to hold further away. Can you come closer and shoot that way? Sure, if your camera allows it. But a lot of times what happens is you get pixelated or grainy. Also, once you get closer that way, the focus is a little bit tighter. So you might be able to get like an eye in focus and the rest of the figure is going to be completely blurry, or especially if you're doing multiples. So taking it back and zooming in with the camera is really a better way to take the photo. Then I'm touching the face because that's what I want to be in focus. So I still have an autofocus on. So I'm touching the face to make it focused, and then I snap the picture, and there we have a beautiful result. So that is the full steps. And the camera part is the hardest part, But the best thing is you can just play with it. And if you're not getting the results you like, you can still go back to the automatic, try that, and then see where that's at, and then see if you can get it again. Or, as always, you can reach out to me. I'm happy to help. You can comment below. You can direct message me. You can email me, however you want to reach me. I'm on plenty of social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I do have Patreon. I have Mandy's Minis on Facebook, Mandy Rosema on Instagram. I know enough to be decent, but that's why I never took off as a full-fledged photographer for very long. A different background. We cut this apart so it kind of just fits together, makes a nice little box. One of the best parts is all I've done is touch to focus the face and snap the photo. Once you have your settings done for your lighting setup, you don't have to mess with it again. I don't always have to go in and adjust the settings. They're pretty much the same regardless of what I'm using. Beautiful photo of the Mini. Very frequently, because I'm doing commissions, I end up doing a large quantity of photos of Minis for one order. And then I need a picture of the whole order. So let me show you that. Okay, here it is. This is what the area that we have deemed to be the photo studio. As you can see, this is something that happens anywhere in my house. If I have an empty horizontal surface, Ben takes it over. Ben takes it over and completely covers it, making it unusable. But we clear all this off. I have a light here that I can use, as well as the big light that I use for filming, which I can't really show you because I'm filming. And I have this fantastic photo backdrop set up. This is nice and wide. I can use it, come in close for one Mini so that it's just one background or the other. Or I can put, it's a great place to put fabric over. So I have different fabrics here that I can roll over and they make a larger section. Hopefully now you can show off your figures much better, and be sure to share them with me. Facebook, Instagram, email, however you want to reach out to me. I would love to see some of your photos and your miniatures and what you're doing. And if there's anything else that you want me to make videos about or want help with, that's why I'm here. Consider joining our wonderful community. It is focused on help. We talk a lot about D&D. Let me know what you think. Do you think that you can get better photos with things you already own? Or am I just being ridiculous and trying to fool myself? Let me know. And until next time, have fun and keep creating.